Morning, sir. May I represent case from prosecution side with my colleague Nishita Gupta and Subhangi Agarwal. Drishti Foundation versus Union of Indiva. The fact is, Shivraj is a state in the Union of Indiva. The population of the state, on the basis of religious faith, comprises 40% of Hindu, 25% Muslim, 50% Christian, and remaining 20% belongs to various smaller groups like Parsis, tribal and non-tribal, and non-believers. The state is predominantly a hilly area with 4 holy rivers flowing through it, and the people are very religious by nature. A large number of population being illiterate carry out primitive occupation, religious practice, superstitious, and ritual take much of their time and money, which has greatly affected the development of the state. The state is known all over the world for its religious centers. The various religious institutions in the state are imparting only religious education, putting the secular education into oblivion, which has reduced drastically the people's employment avenues. As the state is a pilgrimage center, the religious leaders, gurus, and prophets of various religions in the state are vying with one another because of huge donation offered by the pilgrims. Accordingly, mass prayer, retreat, yagnas, penance, service, etc. are conducted very frequently. The religious leaders, so-called God-man, in order to continue their hold, have created a kind of fear in the mind of their followers by way of fundamentalist practice and attitude, which further created division in the society and often within the families too. The youth of the state, who were boiling with anger and frustration, looking at the economic progress of the other state, often revolted against those oppressive and suppressive religious practices that prevailed in their state. There were many protests by many groups headed by moderate intellectuals and non-believers on various occasions in different parts of the state. Dr. Viren Panhalkar, the 17-year-old social activist who was shot dead on 20 August 2020 in one city of the state of Shivrashtra, had waged a long and lonely battle for an anti-superstition law. Within a week after the vicious assassination of Dr. Panhalkar, the governor of Shivrashtra signed the Black Magic Prohibition Ordinance. It came into force from 26 August 2020 all over in the state of Shivrashtra. The draft will clearly specify 12 such practices. These include claiming to perform surgery with just finger or to change the sex of the fetus in the womb, sexual exploitation under the guise of the claim of supernatural power, branding women as witches and causing them physical harm, human sacrifices and other aghori practices. In spite of coming into force of the above legislation, the superstitious activity are no rise. The people of the state of Shivrashtra are being exploited by self-declared god like Baba Ram Maharaj, who was amassed huge wealth by exploiting the religious sentiment of the people under the guard of religious practice. He started to exploit illiterate and poor women and children and employed youth. He used their energies by providing them training to play with rifle and arms for his own protection and to prevent government authorities to take any action against him. He possessed himself as God of supernatural power to attract women, and he sexually abused many women too. To ban his activity, the government of Shivrashtra tried to enter in the ashram but could not succeed. In the backdrop of the above fact and circumstances, Drishti Foundation, which is NGO working against the exploitation of the religious feeling of the people, as such so-called government has filed a PIL.
In charge on accused section 354 of IPC make it a special criminal force against a woman or even threaten to use force. The intention is to operate the modesty. Because of that, he grab of religious, he started the exploit illiterate and poor women. Section 354A of IPC, sexual harassment and that case he trying to use for a physical contact and advances involving unwhelming and express sexual harassment and the demand or request for sexual favor was genuine. A number of population being illiterate and they are now social awakened and aware about that. Section 24 of IPC common changes. Baba Nath and ashram was carrying the activities of exploitation, the religious feeling of the people. They are providing them training to play rifles and arms for his protection. They intend to exploit the women and children and take so much of their time and money. Section 295. Injury and held is steered by a class of persons with intention to insult or exploitation the women and children.
Related case Tulsidas Karnukar versus State of Goa. It was held that the accused took advantage of the illiterate and exploited the woman in such a base scenario. No question to consent arise because a mentally change of a woman cannot give consent, and submission does not imply consent, which can also be due to their religious feelings, suspicious, and their rituals. T. Manikadam petitioner versus the state of government of MCT of Delhi. The Supreme Court held that Section 354A, which was asserted by involving unwelcome and expert sexual overtones, ingredients of Section 354 IPC would show that the same moderate and actus reus of assault of criminal force with the intention to the outrage or likely to outrage the modesty of the woman, and the offence assault of criminal force to woman with intent to outrage the modesty of the woman and children.
Good morning, sir. I, Ishita Soni, would like your permission to present the defense case with my colleague Manu Rai and may I? The accused, Babaram Maharaj, was a resident in the state of Shivraj. Shivraj is a state in the Union of Indiva. The population of the state on the basis of religious faith comprises 40% Hindus, 25% Muslims, 15% Christians, and the remaining 20% belongs to various smaller groups like Parsis, tribals and non-tribals, and believers and non-believers. The state is known all over the world only for its religious centers. Accordingly, mass prayers, retreats, yagnas, and penance services, etc. are conducted very frequently in the state. The various religious institutions in the state are imparting only on the religious education. Also, the governor of the Shivraj state signed the Black Magic Prohibition Ordinance, which came into force on 26 August 2020 all over the state of Shivraj. The ordinance aimed at banning superstitious practices, inhuman rituals, and black magic that have been used to exploit people in the name of religious beliefs. The law is against the fraudulent and exploitative practices. Such practices have no place in an enlightened society, and the Babaram Maharaj has never violated the law which the state has enforced. As everyone is aware that India is a secular country, every citizen in India has right to practice and profess their religion. This freedom is not only provided by the fundamental right, but also by the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Every citizen is entitled with their right and liberty to create, practice and propagate the religion of his choice. An opportunity is also provided by this right to spread it amongst everyone without any fear of government intervention. But also, it is expected by the state to practice it ambiguously within the jurisdiction of the country. As in the case, it appears that Babaram Maharaj is an influential person and many religious sentiments are attached to him, and the work he has done for all his followers. The Babaram and his saviors throughout the country, and people trust and follow him. So attacking Babaram would hurt the sentiment of thousands of people throughout the country. Babaram only exercises fundamental rights which are provided from Article 25 to 28. No conclusive evidence has been given to show that Babaram had done any kind of criminal activity.
There are many articles related to them. Article 25, it imparts freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Article 26, it gives freedom to manage religious affairs. Article 27, it sets freedom as to payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. Article 28, it gives freedom as to attendance at religious institution or of religious worship in certain educational institution. These are some of fundamental rights relating to freedom of religion.
It is humbly contended before this honorable court
that Babaram Maharaj is not guilty of the offence under section 354 of the Indian Penal Code. It has been wrongfully alleged that Babaram assaulted or used criminal force on women with intent to outrage their modesty. Babaram Maharaj believes in religious practices and is a very religious person by nature. Also, the people of the state in which the Babaram lives are also very religious by nature. As a religious leader, this case that a charge may be dismissed if there is no As a religious leader, he has many followers also. It is contended that no evidence has been given or introduced by the prosecution to show assault or use of criminal force by Babaram, and also no testimony of any woman has been taken against the accused. So it is submitted before the Honorable Court that as there is a room full of doubt and no proper evidence was introduced to prove allegation, these allegations on the accused are irrelevant. It is humbly contended that the accused is not liable under section 354A of the Indian Penal Code, as there was no act of sexual harassment by the accused. No intention to sexually harass any woman was involved, and also no proper evidence to show that any such act or no testimony of any woman was introduced by the prosecution. I want to quote a relevant case as to that matter. State of Madhya Pradesh versus S.B. Johri and others, year 2000. The Supreme Court has ruled that in this case that a charge may be dismissed if there is no sufficient ground for proceeding with the trial, because the evidence the prosecution intends to adduce to prove the guilt of the accused cannot show that the accused committed that particular offence.
Babaram Maharaj is a very religious person. He believes in various religious practice and also a supernatural power. According to Article 25 to 28, each and every individual has a right to freedom of religion. Religion is matter of personal beliefs and values. He can practice their own religion as per their choice. This right gives to everyone as explained by the Supreme Court of India. Also, it says being secular is neither pro-God or anti-God. It is irrespective of the atheist introduced. Antigotic and devout. So it is contended before this court that no act of injuring the religious of any class or no act to injury of defile any place of worship has been done by Babaram Maharaj. So it is submitted before this honorable court that these allegations on the accused are irrelevant as he was exercising his fundamental right.
Honorable Court, in the leading case of K.M. Nanavati versus State of Maharashtra, held that as per general rule, there is a presumption of innocence in the favor of the accused, and prosecution has to prove the legal burden. And in the present case, no proper evidence has been produced by the prosecution in relation to the allegations made to Babaram Maharaj.
But the Babaram Maharaj, who was amassed huge wealth by exploiting the religious sentiments of the people. Under the grab of religious practice, he started to exploit illiterate and poor women and children and the employed youth. He used their emergency by providing their training to play with rifles and arm his own protection and prevent government authority to take against action him. And he posed himself as God of supernatural power to attract women, and he sexually abused many women too. And their mud and ashram exploit of the religion religious pupil of the feeling.
They knew that the people of Srivastava are uneducated, so that's why they are not aware for Baba to take advantage of this fact and they exploit women and lead. Baba Ram amazed by used wealth by exploiting the religious sentiments of the people of Srivastava.
I want to go to the article for some points. As the prosecution has alleged certain facts and certain allegations are made on Baba Ram, but there no conclusive evidence has provided by the prosecution. As it appears on the face of the fact and circumstances of the case that no such evidence are provided by the prosecution to establish the guilt of the accused. All the allegations are made in hearsay kind of way. It is to be reminded to the honorable court that no actual testimony of victim or witnesses are provided by the prosecution so as to create an according ground for proving the guilt of the Baba Ram Maharaj. State of the Gujarat High Court has held in the recent case that where substantial evidence to connect an accused with the crime is lacking, other corroborative evidence loses its significance.
The doctor was also murdered by Baba. He started a protest against him. He wanted the people are not become aware of it. He also used arms for his protection, which is illegally, and used to give training in arms and rifle to the youth of the Shivrashtra.
As per the prosecution has alleged that Baba Ram is exploiting religious sentiments of people and still no evidence has been given by the prosecution to prove that Baba has been exploiting rights or sentiments of people. The burden of proof lies on prosecution to first prove that he was involved in said exploitation. Prosecution has also not provided sufficient evidence to prove that rifles and arms used by the Baba Ram was unauthorized or illegal, as proper documentation has been provided by Baba Ram, which shows that Baba Ram was authorized to keep arms for his own protection. Prosecution in this case failed to prove that Baba Ram was using the said rifle or arms for any illegal purpose.
Act of the accused was protested by Article 25 to 28 fundamental right. No proper evidence has been introduced by the prosecution to prove any of the allegations made by them. No violation of the law acts passed by the state. The governor of Saurashtra signed the black magic provision ordinance, the ordinance and at banning supernatural superstitions practices in human rituals and black magic that have been used to exploit people in the name of religious belief. This law is against fraudulent and exploitative practices. Such practices have no place in an enlightened society. The fact there was no fact to prove of any violation of the law. Why Baba Ram Maharaj can be taken into consideration, by which it can be seen that no practice of inhuman rituals and exploitative acts were done by Baba Ram.
I want to put further point for argument. Anger and frustration of the youth among the state. The youth of the state were very angry and frustrated by looking at the economic progress of the state. As the state of Shivrashtra was all known over the world for its religious centers, it was economically weak from other states. This can be a reason to put false allegation on Baba Ram Maharaj, as there were many followers of Baba Ram Maharaj. I want to remind the court that the act of the accused was protected by the fundamental rights of our constitution. The side of the accused in this very case are protected by the constitution, as we can observe from the prosecution's story that Baba Ram Maharaj had various ashrams which are operated by him by virtue of Article 25 to 29 of the constitution. Every citizen has freedom to practice as well as profess their religion, and Babaram was doing the same. There are no allegations made till now that Babaram has been involved in any kind of unconstitutional activity and is misusing his fundamental rights. Honorable Supreme Court, in the leading case of S.R. Bomai versus Union of India, All India Report 1994, held that the secularism is the basic feature of the Constitution. Indian Constitution embodies a positive concept of secularism. In the matter of religion, the state is neutral and treats every religion equally. So, from the said story, it can be concluded that Babaram was merely exercises his right of freedom of religion.
But he truly know that a large number of population being illiterate and carrying out a primitive occupation, religious practice and superstitions and the rituals take much of their time and money, which was greatly affected the development of the people.
The draft will clearly specifies all such practices. These include claiming to perform surgery with just finger or to change the sex of the fetus in the home, sexual exploitation under the base of the claim of supernatural power, branding women as witches and causing them physical harm, human sacrifice and other outdoor practices. In spite of coming into force of the above legislation, the superstitious activities are no rise. The people of the state of Srivras starting exploitation by self-declared God like Babaram Maharaj, who was against whose wealth by exploitation, the religious sentiments of the people under the grab of religious practice. He started to exploit illiterate and poor women and children and employed the youth. He uses their energies by providing them training to play with the rifles and arms of his own protection and to prevent government authorities to take any action against him.
Babaram was a very religious person and he has many followers and his devotees. He was merely exercising his fundamental right, which is right to practice his religion. He was a spiritual person. He believed in God and he also wanted other people to believe in God. But he didn't force anyone to come to his ashram or to do things which they were doing voluntarily. And no evidence has been provided by the prosecution that Babaram was involved in any kind of illegal activities, and no testimony of any kind of women has been provided yet by the prosecution that Babaram was involved in any kind of sexual harassment of women.
They know that their people are not aware and uneducated that took advantage of this fact and they exploited them. And he availed huge wealth while exploiting the religious sentiment of the people of the Shivarashtra. He also used arms for his protection, which is illegal, and used to give training in arms and rifle to the youth.
I want to remind the court that the arms used by Babaram was authorized and no evidence has been provided by the prosecution to prove that he was using any kind of illegal arms. Babaram was an influential person. He has many followers as well as enemies. So keeping arms was necessary for his own safety. And he has proper authorization and documentation for that particular purpose.
I would like to remind the Honorable Court that Srivras is a state which is known only for its religious centers, and various religious institutions in the state are imparting only on religious education. As per the allegation alleged by the prosecution that people are illiterate and Babaram used their religious sentiments is irrelevant, as the people of the state were religious and due to the religious education given by the religious institutions, they were also very sentimental towards their religious practices and rituals.
Accordingly, mass prayers, retreats, yagna, etc. were conducted very frequently. The religious leaders, so-called God men, in the order to continue their goal, has created a kind of fear in the mind of their followers by way of fundamentalist practice and attitude, which further created division in the society and often within the family.
As to this allegation, I would like to quote the fact that Babaram has never made any type of act that put fear in the mind of the peoples. Peoples were the follower of Babaram Maharaj due to their religious sentiments. The religious leaders, as to their practices, they were religious. They had their religious sentiments accordingly, and people choose to follow them in their religious practices. He took advantage of the inhuman rituals and black magic that has been used to exploit people in the name of religious belief, and he fraudulent and exploitive practice, and such practice had no place in enlightened society. In the entire text, there is no single word about the god or religion of a Baba.
So for the said allegation, no particular evidence has been provided by the prosecution to prove that Baba Ram was involved in any kind of activity in which he was influencing women or children for these kind of activities. I want to remind you quote that Baba Ram was a very famous person and he had owned many trusts which work for public welfare such as hospitals, animal charity and different things. This case is clearly for defaming Baba Ram, as he was very influential person and was related to a growing religion. So this case is intended to only to defame Baba Ram Maharaj.